know what I'm saying? What's up? We ain't gotta mince words, man. We ain't like listen, bro. Look, bro. It's what's going on, everybody? You see it? We don't have a banner right now. We gotta wait another whole ass week. So what we do know is because it popped on an SEA, the overseas server. They got Genos. That don't mean that we getting Genos, but you know what I'm saying? Like, if we getting Genos, bro, and I'm not talking because people like, oh, we're getting the arms Genos, yeah, it's so fun, yeah, finally. No, bro, we not. That's not the one. Let me show you. Let me show you. This him right here. This regular ass. This Genos. This super regular ass Genos. By the way, I got a bunch of tickets that I need to pop before it goes away. I haven't been on all day, but that's mainly because I was playing other games. Because a bunch of stuff is released on the 20th and the 21st. Go figure, right? So it's just been that back to back to back to back to back to back to back. And I haven't even logged on to all the games. I've just been relaxing and enjoying life. Having conversations with some beautiful individuals. You feel me? So, yeah, man, it's a whole week. A whole week. How do you feel about that? Because I had conversations with the Discord, man. Nobody was happy about that shit. They were not happy about that shit at all. Like, man, what the fuck? We don't have no limited banner, bitch. Fuck. Now, they said that in so many words. Like, obviously, it wasn't like that vulgar to that degree that fast, right? So, excuse me. So, yeah, man. I don't know, man. I just play this shit on the side, bro. I'll be honest with you. Like, I make videos on it every day because it's like I could pop in, do my thing, I have a good time, get out. That's what I do, man. And I don't mind, spend a little 20 every now and then on the game, like you know. If it's something that I want, if it's something that I like, I haven't seen anything that I like since Tatsumaki. Fubuki was there. But I played with her kid, and I know what she's like, and it's alright. Now, the one reason that I would like to have Fubuki is for the heal. The heal is huge for Assault. That's really all I care about. Because then I could pop her off in a place of Silverfang, right? But I'll just let it happen naturally, man. It's whatever. I'm not really tripping off of it. Everybody should be getting as many of these done as they possibly can. I don't know what you've been doing if you haven't gotten this done already. And this has come from somebody who like spammed it. Like, even if I didn't use silver to like constantly refresh, and I was doing that to get stronger anyway for Maelstrom Battle, so it just happened to line up with this event. But even if that wasn't the case, I would have been doing so anyway, and I would have gotten stronger anyway because of the way this event is set up. So no matter what, I would have been on all the time. I just wouldn't have used silver. The outcome would have been the same. I just wouldn't have used it. And the way my RNG with the memories anyway, I would have still gotten to where I am now anyway. So, not a big deal. What is a big deal is how everybody feels about it. Like, how do y'all feel about this, man? How do you feel about the fact that it's Genos? And then supposedly, next week. So, here's my thing. What happens right? Because everybody is trying to, and I'm tired of seeing this shit. Y'all got to stop this bullshit. Because I gave them grace. I gave them grace already. There is no, like, you don't get grace when you don't say shit to the, to the community, your consumers. That's when it's a problem. Now we have a problem. Alright, you need to speak your ass up. I don't give a shit about what the stockholders and investors got to say about y'all fucking up. Guess what? If you're fucking up and your shit's fucked up, guess what? That's just what it is. You're fucked up. You're gonna lose money regardless. If you think you can just save face with them when everywhere, every social media platform there is that's ever been worth the fuck, right? YouTube, Reddit, Discord, wherever you want to go, that they have this platform of One Punch Man World at where you can speak. They're speaking. Billy, I don't fucking know, man. Like wherever it is that you can go ahead and be able to speak about it, people are speaking about it. Guess what? It's not in a positive light. It's not in a positive light. And I ain't coming here to shit on the game because people have done plenty and like they've done enough of that already. What I am here to do is to talk about what people have been talking about, myself included. And I just said straight up, man, like, listen, like I said, I've given you all grace. You've gotten your grace. Where is the communication at? Where are the bug fixes? First off, where the fuck are the bug fixes for Abyssal Wanderer? Because that's messed up for people. That's not good. I don't know if you all realize that or not, but that's pretty fucking bad. If you're one of your 2 game modes that's effectively playable forever, that the rewards for the weekly rewards for it, you don't get anything. You just remove the incentive because of some massive bug that you know. And I would imagine. I would say that it's safe to assume that they're working on those bugs fixes, and that took priority over the banner. Because like, what good is the banner if you're not able to do anything, right? So I do give them some wiggle room there. You know, I think most people should give them some wiggle room there. But that wiggle room is getting smaller and smaller with each passing week. All I'm going to say is, whatever that they have planned, I'm sure that it's extravagant. Because again, I said it before, and I'll say it again. I will continue to support the game until there is nothing left to support. The event has to be extravagant, though. I haven't said that. The event has to be good. It has to be extravagant. If it's not extravagant, if it's not what it's supposed to be, you bet your ass whatever remnants there are left of this game in its player base is going to deplete rapidly. And then it won't even matter if you get your shit together by the time that all of this is done. Right? It just won't matter at that point. Okay, I'll do something I wouldn't dare to do. I think I've already done that, but I'll continue to do more of that. But like, come on, man. We can't sit here and mince words. We cannot sit here and mince words any longer. They either get it together, they communicate properly as they should be doing, because it's not like games don't not fucking do this, man. You have to, you have to. It's not a matter, and I'm really tired of the fucking excuses that people make in them saying like, oh, they have to protect their fucking investments, and no, the fuck they don't, man. You guess what? Like, hey, listen, I played plenty of fucking games where they were just as transparent from the beginning to the end, right? No problems. They got sponsors. They kept their sponsors. In fact, they're doing fantastic right now. You know why they're doing fantastic right now? Because they listened to the community and made the proper changes, like, immediately. Now, did the changes happen over time? Absolutely they did. They did happen over time. But they made the effort to communicate, and in the meantime, as they were working on stuff, they they just talked, man. It's like, hey, what do you guys want to see? How can we accommodate you? How can we facilitate your needs? Because that's important to us. You guys are making us money. Right? That's all I'm saying. Don't make excuses for them. Don't make a ton of excuses for them. Give them some leeway. Be reasonable, but don't be unrealistic either. That's pretty much it. That's all there is. It doesn't have to be any more or less than that, man. Just be reasonable on both ends. Like, don't go to the extreme of either side. Like, don't go out of your way to blindly support them, but also don't blindly hate them either. It's just like, you gotta just like, how much more of this do I really need to say, man? Like, it shouldn't take. It's just common sense, man. Give people the space and the time to grow. You don't have to be present at that time while they're growing. But when they do grow, give them their credit. And if they don't, then hold them accountable. That's it. If they show up, give them praise, give them thanks. If they don't show up, hold them accountable and make the proper assessment in wherever that, places you. Wherever you happen to land in all of that chaos or merriment, wherever you happen to be placed, wherever you happen to stand, you just make your choice then. If you still don't like the game after they make an abundance of changes that's really healthy for the game, and the game is flourishing, and you just choose to not play it, then that's your loss. But if the game is, continued on as it has been, and they're just not making progress in the appropriate time period for you, then you just make your way out of the door. Excuse me. I just feel like people initially were making way too many trends in the direction of negativity and doom posting, as you do. But then there are also people who were just shilling like crazy, like just giving them way too much wiggle room that they did not deserve. And this created this weird spectrum where if you're giving them praise, oh, you're supporting them too much. If you're being critical and critiquing them properly, oh, you're just being super negative. Like, there's no middle ground with people. Like, some people just don't see the difference in this. It's dividing the community in a way that's incredibly unhealthy. That's a problem. It's really unhealthy to see everyone just tearing at each other when it's like, no, you shouldn't be mad at each other, man. Be mad at the fucking devs or whoever is like making these weird ass decisions to not be present and make it known in what's going on. At the very least, like, that's the fucking best you can do, man. That's the least you can do. You don't have to be like, hey, we're doing this at this time and this is like, hey, we know that you guys have been incredibly patient with us. We apologize for the continuous delays. We've done many of these delays. We've done our best to accommodate you. However, we've encountered some incredibly unfortunate game issues that take priority over having a banner come out, and that also takes time away from developing the characters. Therefore, we would like for all of you to give us a bit more time and be just a bit more patient. In the meantime, here's XYZ. We hope this is a good enough token in good faith of our our motivation and our determination to give you all what you deserve. Hopefully this is enough. We thank you for your patience and your time and supporting the game. Like that sort of thing. That's all they have to do, and people would not complain nearly as much. They just wouldn't, bro. And if they do, then they just want to complain. You see the difference? You see the difference here? That's all. That's it. That's it, and that's all, man. There's nothing more or less to say. It's really not. That's all they gotta do. That's not hard. Nothing about that is hard. Nothing about that is hard. That's all they have to do, man. Now, as far as the rewards that they have to give, boy, they gotta give out some stuff. I'm talking like, if you're not giving out like some potential unlock, like something that unlocks potential for a character, and not just like the base characters. I mean, like for any character, it has to be a potential unlock for any character, not to unlock a character, because that's an SSR selector, and you already have that in game, and it's not really all that useful. Don't really care about that. But a potential unlock is huge. That's something that everybody can put to use, or they can just pocket, right? And then they can decide, like, you know, it only works up to the current banners that's available, that has, you know, ran its course. And that, you know, that's fine, I guess. But it's not practical, so it would have to, you know, work for everything pretty much overall, right? So that's pretty much where I'm at with it. That's where I think that it ends up trending towards. It's really just up to them, and I have no idea what they have planned out. I have no idea. Nobody has any idea. Everything we thought that we knew just blew up in our faces, and we don't have any inkling idea of what's going on. No consideration for what we have to do in the meantime, because you cannot expect people to just do commissions. You cannot expect people to do commissions, do Abyssal Wanderer, and do Maelstrom Battle for another week with radio silence. That's the main thing that's killing it. Just like, you're saying nothing, you're continuing to move on as if nothing is wrong, when there clearly is, and you're not communicating. Let me let you in on a little secret, okay? A little secret of life. This applies to every situation, whether it be business ventures, whether it be personal relationships with a significant other, with family members, with friends, whatever it happens to be, or if you're in school, whatever it happens to be, whatever it is that you are doing. If you have an intimate relationship, and it does not have to equate to physicality, but an intimate relationship as far as interacting with someone on a consistent basis, and you are putting effort towards a project, or you're putting energy towards each other in some form or fashion, be it friendship, and like I said, I ran through all of them. You have to communicate. If you don't, guess what happens? There's no furthering in strengthening that bond, that connection, or whatever symbiotic interaction that you have. That it doesn't exist. And I say symbiotic in the sense of like what this is, be it with the consumer, the customer, and the proprietor, the dealer, the distributor, being the developers, the game itself. That is the distributor. The consumer is the player, who may or may not be spending, but the fact that your body is here active in playing this game means that you are a contributor to their success, as you are to them. Therefore, it is symbiotic. It could be codependent, but it's more like, you know, one exists with the other. One coexists with the other. However you want to spin it. it's you still need to communicate in some form or fashion, and when you don't do that, obviously problems are going to persist. If you ever been in a relationship with someone and you don't communicate and you're asking, or they're asking rather, whichever side you happen to be on, hey, what's going on? We don't, we're not as active with each other as we used to be. We don't hang out as much. What's going on? And you just don't say anything. You're effectively ghosting them. I know you all know what that is. Surely you all know what that is. When you when you try to, continue to establish that relationship or reestablish that relationship with someone, and you don't get any answer, well, then there's your answer, right? The silence is your answer. That's how most people are feeling right now. The silence is the answer. You don't care. You don't want to be here. You don't care about me. So why should I care about you? That's how most of the community is feeling right now. You don't believe me? Go to any of these discourse, any of these social media outlets, and see what you find if they haven't silenced it or removed it. Right? Because it's not good. I promise you, it's more negative than it is positive, and the positive isn't even like remotely realistic. To be honest with you, there might be some who are realistic, but that's a very minute amount of people. Okay? So what does that tell you? Obviously, the majority is going off, and they're not going off for a reason. And obviously, on that side, there's extremists. But for the most part, the people in the middle are, of reasonable mind, of sound mind, right? They get the reasonable doubt. That's telling you, hey, something's wrong here. Something's not happening here that should be happening here. And that's really the main issue. I don't think it's so much as like the banner is more so the icing on the cake, but it's like all the accumulating bugs with the AI not being good, Abyssal Wanderer being bugged for certain people and just not working anymore, amongst other issues as well. With like some of the win conditions for these missions, I've completed all the missions, so I don't really care. They were tough, but I made it work. But for people who aren't as in inclined to do so, who are not as gifted in being able to get those done without the grace that the conditions are giving and being hit 5 times, but when in reality, or 15 times or 10 times, whatever it says, you don't get that grace. You just get hit once and then you fail that win con, right? And that's an issue as well. But it's simply the fact that there is a formula they have followed up to this point, and then that formula is no longer there, and people are they got used to it, they got accustomed to it, they were expecting that. There's no excuse really. That's pretty much what it boils down to. There's no excuse there. So what do you do in that position as the consumer, right? You do what people have been doing, and that's complain, put out their 2 cents, and again, this isn't to say that they have not been listening, because they have made changes that I have they've made changes I've suggested. They've made changes that I've seen other people suggest in the Discord and whatever other social media outlets that they have taken into consideration, where people were actually being reasonable with the surveys as well. Because I made sure that I was reasonable and I was kind and I was forthcoming, and I still have that energy. Like if I talk to any of the developers, you shouldn't look at me and think like, oh man, I don't know if I can talk to him. I'm sure I don't give off that energy at all. I'm certain, I'm positive that I give off the energy of like, I can actually have a conversation with this individual and they will understand, and absolutely I will. And anything that's confidential will absolutely stay confidential. And I'd be I'd be able to, I'm sure I'd be able to get the message across to the other players of what's going on without letting them know what's going on. You know? So it's just you just gotta do something. You gotta say something, because people trying to do damage control who are, you know, on the inside but not actually saying, and you know, saying what's going on without saying that what's going on, and simply saying, I can't believe people are whining that there's no banner right now. Yeah, you fucking right, they're whining and complaining, as they fucking should. They should be. Yes, they should. They should be talking about these bugs that haven't been getting fixed yet. They should be talking about this shit. Yes, they absolutely should. Why aren't they? Why wouldn't they? They want a if they're here, if they're putting their time and effort into this, just as much as the developers are putting in to make this, the consumers, the customers are putting, the players are putting in the time and effort to play this and enjoy this, the piece that they put together. Okay, so it goes both streets. Yeah, they ought to be able to complain just as much as the developers need patience and, you know, understanding for them having to work out these issues. So that's pretty much it, man. It's not too much more or less than that. I'm pretty sure I said everything, and if I missed something, which I'm sure I missed one detail or a few details that need to be excuse me, that need to be considered and, you know, have the conversation, I'll definitely do it in another video. But as far as what is been discussed right now, I'm pretty sure I've gotten everything. Like, there's not much else to commune here. I'm pretty sure that's it. But if there's something else that hasn't been mentioned that you would like to have mentioned, then feel free to do so in the comments, or let me know otherwise how you all feel about it. But that's my 2 cents. I am pretty much, I'm not so much in the middle. I'm more so just unbiased in seeing both sides. So I guess you could say I'm on the fence about it, but I'm more so like, okay, we're gonna be playing this shit. You guys need to say something. I'm more leaning on the side of the players, but not too far to where I'm just blind to what the developers are needing and the stress that they're under and having to, you know, relentlessly work and get these things situated, while also dealing with the player base constantly down their throats, and whoever else who, you know, they're closer to and more intimate with also down their throats with deadlines that they need to meet, and then conversations that they need to have with, you know, other individuals about, you know, what's going on, why are these numbers looking like this, and all that stuff. So there's a lot to consider. Hopefully you take all these things into consideration, and if you haven't up to this point, then maybe you have a different perspective. Maybe your stance is the same. Maybe, you know, you're still in the middle. Wherever you happen to be, just take a second time. Just take time to have, you know, a second guess, a second thought, more consideration on what needs to happen. Just not even just now, but like overall. for the the landscape of the game, because it's a rough launch. It's a pretty rough launch, and it's a shame that it's such a rough launch, because there was such a tremendous amount of hype that was behind this. With so many games that are coming out and have, you know, they're looking good, they're seemingly feeling good, it's gonna be rough if they don't get it together soon. It's not so much as like, will the product be good by this time only. It's will this product be able to stabilize and get players to come back and play this in time before they get their attention grabbed by a different game, because there's a lot of stuff going on this month, and then next month it's going to be even crazier, and then May is going to be even more insane. So if they don't get it together within the time frame of like this late March stretch into like early April, I don't know how this game is going to be able to like deal with it, because it's not like it's just, you know, the free to plays that are upset, the light spenders that are upset. It's the Dolphins and the Whales who are incredibly upset and just not playing the game anymore. That's huge. Your heavy spenders are not happy. That's a problem. That's when you know the game's in a tough spot. When the heavy spenders are like, yeah, I'm kind of done. I'm not being heard. I'm not being taken care of, and I'm supposed to be VIP, man. Yeah, I'm done. That's the one thing you don't want to happen, because here's the thing, and having been in like pretty much every single spot that you can think of, from free to play to free to play plus, so you know, Dolphin to a Whale. If I'm not getting my needs met and I'm spending money, it's one thing if I'm free to play. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm not like super invested. But if I'm heavily invested as a free to play player, or if I'm investing and I'm investing time and money just as much as a Whale or a Dolphin, and my needs aren't being met, I'll just go somewhere and spend my money elsewhere where that is the case. And you just don't want that to happen. That's pretty much it. I don't think there's too much else to say about that. Let me know what you all think, and I will see you all in the next video.